How's it going, guys? Test filtered. Hoping to play your test today. Otherwise, we're gonna be. I guess you're gonna be viewing. You are specifically gonna be reviewing my thought process on making New Super Mario Bros. Plus. I still need to find an intro for this. Four episodes in, I still haven't found an intro with it. By the time I actually come up with an intro, it's gonna be at the end of the series. Oh well. Either way, we're gonna be doing World 4, which I think is where I actually start to get kind of creative with some of my levels. Because, like, especially World 3, these, so most of these levels have actually kind of almost felt like copy-paste from, like, just slightly different from, like, New Super Mario Bros. Games. I try to put a stop to that here, and there's only, like, one level where you can argue it's very similar, and that's this, the castle. But it's okay. We're gonna go to World 4, which is Moonlight View. So, here is actually very interesting. As you probably already noticed, we're using the nighttime theme. Meaning a whole bunch of stuff changed. And I try to basically, I mean, if it's already named Moonlight View, you kind of know the idea of how this world's gonna be. It's gonna be all nighttime theme levels, except for one. We'll get into that later. As you can notice, because we have the nighttime theme, there's a lot of stuff like the floating Goombas. Not the floating, the swimming Goombas. The mushroom that bounces away from you. We've got the chain jump with the ridiculously long chain. You know, there's a lot of nighttime gimmicks. And that's what I try to focus on in this world, is just kind of focusing on nighttime gimmicks, and even making the levels themselves kind of gimmicky. So that was kind of the idea. So if you notice here that you were hearing a lot of claws, well, that's because if we go up here, this is the red ring. And the reason why I had to make the red ring like this is because if I tried to do like the old method, not even like the old method, but just like the method that I did before, it would, the fire flowers would just kind of bounce out if I tried to do that. Because what would end up happening is, also, a lot of the stuff that I had, I don't actually need it all, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. Well, what kind of, the idea was that, like, I forget how this was, but you know how I like to make the rooms, it's like, something like this, and then, you know, we have the fire flower here. Go like this, and then, you know, like there's multiple of them. Well, if I did that, the fire flower would just kind of bounce out, and it would kind of lead to the exact same problem. So, yeah, I know this is not actually what it looks like, but the point was is that I had to do it in this mechanism. And even then, like, you could still do this. But, like, I feel like there's not really another way you can really do this, so. That's the best compromise that I was able to come up with. Anyways, first star coin is up here. It's not necessarily easily visible, like, but, like, I feel like the moment that you actually jump up here, you do notice a star coin. So it's not, like, hidden that badly. And then we've got a red ring, which is interesting because it actually features a snake block. Although, honestly, I feel like it's kind of easier to get the red coins without the snake block, except for this one. But, yeah, and that leads to the Fireflower area, which I didn't show you much earlier. I do also feel like the snake block is just very pointless, like, seriously. Especially since it only goes like this. So it's like, whoa, it's not that creative. I wonder what happens if you... Oh wow, you actually can't move anything in the path. I guess that does make sense. I don't know why I thought that was like a surprise to me. So there's a checkpoint with Cheep Cheep, which aren't actually special at all. I do try to use more special stuff, like the Goomba, like kind of floating. Well, obviously like the mushroom that we saw here, bouncing away, and the long chain chomp, I guess. And even then, here, if we get in this warp pipe, this is actually the only instance I use the nighttime underground theme. And that's just kind of because, like, if I made an underground level, I feel like it would have been kind of annoying. Like, because, like, you would have to basically, literally, move your brain upside down to really fully comprehend everything. And I don't know, it just didn't really feel like a very compelling idea to make a level based on like that, so That's why I only have it as like one like sub area underground. Other than that, we kind of just have like a more boring, like, oh yeah, here's a very simple jump that you have to do. Here's like a more scale platform wannabe. That's essentially what that is. As you can't even make the jump if you miss the jump at all, so that's kind of a weird, faulty game design. But oh well. Here is a hidden block, which I do try to hint with the coin, but I feel like it's not that heavily implied. Like, what if you go like that? Or like, you do this. Like, you could just completely miss the hidden block and the reason it's there. I feel like what I should have done was have it so it was like that. So that when you saw the 2 coins, I was like, oh yeah, what happens if I try to jump in between? There you go, you get up here and start coin. And then we have an end level flag. I feel like this level, like, it's a nice opener to how gimmicky this world is. It's like more of a traditional level, because the rest of these levels are actually, or in this world, are actually kind of gimmicky. So, yeah. Speaking of which, already, 4-2, which is actually one of my more favorite levels. In fact, I want to say, this is probably my favorite world design-wise, because I do try to incorporate a lot of cool mechanics into these levels. Sorry, just having more drinks of water here. So, when you start this level, you're like, huh, that looks pretty high. Looks like I can't really get up here at all. Like, what the heck do I do? Well, there's a pipe. What if I jump into it? Well, all of a sudden everything just becomes much bigger. Or, more likely, you just shrink in size. Yeah, that's the entire gimmick of this level. You are too big to really do much of anything in this universe. If we go back up here. You're kind of too big to really do much of anything. Like, you're too big to stand on the sign, quite literally. And you don't even see the spring here. And if we go in here, all of a sudden, there is a spring here. And now you can actually stand on the sign. So yeah, also notice over... Oh, well, actually, it must be easier if I go like this. Okay, notice how, like, the brick blocks and the question mark block is like this. Well, you know, reasons. Anyways, notice how this is like a triple. Like, the pipe is like... triple as thick, and like that's actually a 30 coin. Well, if we go back, which isn't impossible by the way, you can pretty easily do that. If we go back over here, notice how, yep, there's a piranha plant and the coin right there, except it's just a regular coin here compared to a star coin normally. And this does have like the weird problem of like, well, there's not really... Like, if you do pick up this coin, like, it won't pick it up in the alternate universe. But, that's not really a possibility in Mario Maker. Like, you can illusion it as best as possible, but that's about it. Well, I cannot grab pound cancel for the life of me. There we go. Although, I'm gonna say right now, I'm gonna break the illusion by just going like this. Yeah, not really a whole lot changes. I don't even know why this spring is here. Like, actually, why is this spring here? Excuse me. But yeah, it does kind of break the illusion a little bit, but regardless though, the idea is that like you're kind of pint sized compared to everything else. And then we have like this giant Goomba, which you can just kill by doing that, which is kind of weird and embarrassing, but it's oh well. You can hit this, which is essentially just supposed to be a humongous question block. So that's how that ended up working. Also, you can try to hit this, but it takes like a lot of hits, and even then you can't even hit the others, so it's fine. This question block isn't actually here, but that's just because it's kind of indicated. Well, you're too big to even see it. So that's the idea. Or I mean, it's so small that it's hard to see it. That's the idea. Here's another giant question block. And if we go up here, we get second star coin. So nice. I will admit, though, this level is somewhat short, I will say. Like, I mean, there's not really a whole lot that I can really do with it. Anyways, here's the, you know, red ring. That was a bit of an accident. Whoops. We can go like this. And we get that. And then that's kind of roughly the end of the level right there. I'm pretty sure I use the exact same mechanism here for the red ring, so not really much of anything, really. Now this is kind of interesting. I don't know why I have it designed like this, where like you can't actually get there until the Thwomp stomps. Seriously, this was not like the smartest of moves. Oh, I might have just gotten the Thwomp in a really bad position. So now I have to, yeah, I have to move it over here. What the heck? I've never seen that happen before. Where it gets bounced up by its own thing. That's actually kind of hilarious. that's just funny. Anyways, the swamp. This will start going up here. Here's the flagpole, but way giant enough for you to basically you cannot go down here. Also, this was originally a soft lock, I think, because I don't think you. I think it was quite literally impossible for you to actually get back up here. So I had to change that by adding the spring. So that's what got changed. I will say though, I don't think this world really changed that much from like when I went back through and changing all these levels. I don't think really much of anything changed. So yeah, here you can see the, I guess, illusionish part, but not really. Anyways, that's kind of the end of the level right there. I really don't think anything got changed in this level, because, like, I'm trying to think, like, what would I have changed? Like, I feel like this level concept was just fine. I think literally the only thing I did change was, like, the illusion at the, sort of, like, at the end of the level. But it's fine. Anyways, here's another pretty gimmicky level, 4-3. So first of all, I have a somewhat bad game design where if you do manage to, like, miss this mushroom because, like, you're too slow to react or something, all of a sudden you can't go down here. That's a bit of a bad game design part, but oh well, not much I can really do. But either way, this is supposed to represent, like, a question mark block that has spikes on one side, and it cycles between each side. That's the whole idea of this. So, or that's what that's supposed to represent, really. But once you get the mushroom, if I can get the mushroom, that is, we can go down here. Try not to get hit by this triple fire bar. Here's an ice block that's kind of just so that, you know, you have to actually get the start point a little bit interesting. Here's this question block that actually, if you do hit, which is not the easiest thing to do, by the way. I know this is possible, because I've done it before. There we go. It does actually contain a fire flower in it. So, if you do end up somehow hitting it, you did get a fire flower for it, which is nice. Not like it really does anything, but... I'm gonna go all the way to the top. No, it's fine. I don't know what the heck I was doing. So, the whole gimmick of this level is that you see these, like, these switches, like these blocks. Well, these pipes are actually supposed to switch them. All of a sudden, yeah, no, now these blocks are solid and this one isn't. Unfortunately, though, because of how this level is kind of made out, there's not really a whole lot that you can do in terms of making sure that, you know, like as you can see, like, I don't even bother to try to remake it, even though it wouldn't have actually been that hard to do. And also, I don't think there's anything over here. Like, in fact, it's actually such a big gap, I want to say it's quite literally impossible for you to try to make this jump all the way over there. Yeah, the essentially idea is that, like, well, if this was, like, any, like, actual level, what you would do is you would hit that, and all of a sudden, you know, it breaks it on the other side of the pipe, because you cannot progress, like, I guess. But since it's not possible in Mario Maker, the idea is that you just carry a shell, and then you do that. Either way, there's this little seesaw puzzle, which is, I feel like, the most uninteresting part of the level, period. Especially since I think I only used, like, this block gimmick once. Like, seriously, I only used it one time. And that was the whole concept of this level. So, because once we go through this door, we're essentially at the end, where we get to use it once more. That is a 30 coin, which I want to say is just straight up impossible. I don't think it's literally possible to get this at all. nor is it actually possible to make this jump. Or, like, I guess maybe it is with multiplayer, but obviously, you know, I don't usually allow multiplayer. Or, I mean, not that I don't allow it, is that, like, you know, it's just, multiplayer just breaks a whole bunch of stuff. I feel like there's just certain things that didn't get thought out when playing on multiplayer. Anyways, you can't beat the level because otherwise it's Cloud, and if you do try to go to the end, well, you would die. In fact, I think you die so much that, like, you end up hitting the edge of the screen. So, yeah, don't go out that far. Either way, if we go into here, you actually saw a brief glimpse of it earlier. The only time a red ring actually gives you a required power-up. Which is why I don't actually put a timer in it in my video. Because it'd be kind of dumb if a red ring that you need to literally beat the level is based on a timer. Don't pick this up, because that's actually supposed to be a fake star coin. It's kind of just supposed to be more of an illusion thing. Anyways, you just want to get up here. There you go. That's the star coin collected. And the idea is you can do that. I think it's actually possible to do it without Yoshiing off, but obviously, let me see if I can test that. What? I clicked on Luigi, therefore I wasn't able to place the Yoshi. Yeah, no, it is possible. I just, like, didn't time it correctly, I guess. Also, you can completely jump over the flagpole, and I just completely forgot to wall it off. And I also completely forgot to do the entire ceiling bit here, so... I feel like there's a lot of things I kind of just forgot about this level. Like, I only used this, like, pipe switching blocks mechanic twice in the level. Like, even though this was going to be the entire gimmick of the level anyways. Huh. But you know what? It is a concept, and a concept that I do at least use. So... And I'll take it. And it's better than, like, trying to remake a level from, like, a original thing. Which actually brings me to something I actually wanted to mention. When, like, I originally planned making these levels, I had no idea what I wanted to do for a World 4. Like, I just completely did not know what I wanted to do. And I was like, okay, well, what are all the themes, and what can I theoretically make... Like, what can I theoretically do? Well, I mean, I could do, like, an underground one, but that'd be kind of boring. And I feel like it'd be kind of... Like, there's no, like, just beach theme. So it's kind of... We can't really do much of anything. I've already used the desert, I've already used the snow. The ghost house theme is not really a theme I wanted to use in a in a world. The airship, same. Castle, only for, like, the final world. Because there's no lava theme, which is kind of dumb. And the sky, well, that's also something that was going to be used. So really, my only options was, like, forest, which I was already going to use. And essentially my only options were, like, underground, underwater. Those were, like, my only two things, but even then those were two, like, I feel like level themes that I just didn't really want to use. So I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of out of themes. What do I do? I'm going to hit this moon icon. And I basically just made a nighttime theme world, which I feel like works pretty well. Because I feel like all the levels at least feel unique in one way or another. Like, in this level, it's all about these switching block mechanics, even though, like, it only features it once. In terms of, like, with the level of how it got changed, I want to say this is the only thing that got changed, was, like, this section. I think the claw was originally here. And, like, you had to do, like, a somewhat awkward jump to... Because, yeah, I guess you could see, like, if you get stopped there, you kind of just get, like, stopped under your momentum. So... I had to, like, I think it was just, like, so hard to get this star coin. You have to do, like, that, which is not good. So, yeah, I did end up changing that quite a bit. Anyways, yeah, I think that's about it. Okay, now we got the tower. Which is kind of interesting, because I don't need to actually bother with any platforming. You can just swim your way to the top! So, the idea about this tower was that, because you could swim, I try to give you more obstacles to dodge than, like, platforms to try to make. And that already comes apparent when we have these cannon boos, which, hold a cannon! So, preferably don't get in their line of fire. And then we basically have the, avoid the spikes, like, thing, where you want to not touch the edge. And basically just do a bunch of precision swimming. Oh god. See, here we've got basically another precision swimming puzzle where essentially you just gotta make sure you don't touch either the top or the bottom, because that will certainly kill you unless you already have a power-up. So yeah, that's how you do that. Okay. And then we've got this little pick a path. I do think the right path is easier in my opinion, because you don't have to deal with the hammer bro that could weirdly snipe you a lot easier than you think it can. And here's a fun little fact. I added these conveyor belts only so that this hammer bro couldn't come up above you. Like, if those weren't there, basically the fire bro, or not the fire bro, the hammer bro could have actually followed you. And that was certainly not intentional at all. And I don't think there's actually a way you can you feel this hammer bro at all? Like, if you try to launch it into the spikes? No. So, yeah, that's why I had to add the conveyor belts. And even when there was only one, there was the problem of, like, well, it kind of get too close to you to the point where it could still hit you with hammers, even when you're in, like, the checkpoint room, which is supposed to be a safe thing. I think it is still possible to get hurt, but, like, you have to be standing in, like, the correct spot, and it has to be in the correct spot. So, yeah, I basically just had to make this kind of, which is also a bit annoying, and also one of the reasons why I recommend you choose the right path, because if you choose the left path, you have to deal with the spike, which can sometimes be a bit obnoxious. But really, the worst part is this hammer bro, which is not really the hammer bro itself, but just the fact that you had to get on the complete left side, which could sometimes just be really annoying. And here's actually a quite hard precision swimming if you have a power up, since it's much easier to get hit there. I can demonstrate this. I don't know why I grabbed this power specifically. Like, it is possible, but it's just much harder. Anyways, inside this pipe, we have the option of hitting the on-off switch if you do end up hitting this. You're not under a time limit, but it's completely impossible for you to go inside this pipe. So, it's kind of the choice of, well, you can pick the P switch, but now you're all of a sudden you're actually on a timer. So, yeah, except you could also do this. So, kind of mood point, but, I mean, it still works. Anyways, what we can do is we can kind of go up like this, and then, yeah, you can essentially pick things up. And then this is just another star coin. So yeah, actually, I don't think there's anything I really needed to show in this room in particular. Whoops. So let's just go over here. And this cannon formation, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't, like, work, like, I feel like. Like, if you're down here, as an example, and you're swimming up, they kind of just get, like, off-centered, but I guess that kind of makes it a little bit harder to dodge. Also, this fire bar, you have to, like, time it, or just, you know, be careful. And as we saw earlier, there's actually a hidden pipe over here, which leads you to the final star coin and the bonus room. So, this is actually one of the few times where the hidden item isn't actually inside the door room. It's actually, quite literally, like, a hidden secret within door room. So, kind of a nice little secret, I guess. And I don't actually think too much of this level really changed, if I'm being honest. But we do have the Boom Boom fight, which is actually a weirdly hard Boom Boom fight because I made the ceiling really low. And that also kind of caused, like, the problem of, like, you can very easily just hit the ceiling by accident when trying to deal damage to Boom Boom. And I also added the note blocks, and so that the fact that, you know, he can actually he's actually kind of a threat. Like, if he keeps landing on here, he's going to start bouncing up. And, like, if you try to jump on them, then, oh no, you hit the spikes. And, yeah. So this is also weird. I think, I want to say this is probably the hardest Boom Boom fight. And that's just because, like, the ceiling is kind of annoying to deal with when he already, like, bounces, essentially. Like, when he's already on the note block, he, like, bounces forward. So, like, really, only safe way to really take him out is if you damage boost, or if you kind of go to this corner, where there's no note blocks. Even then, I just made tons of errors already. But yeah, you kind of get the point where it's like, you kind of want to be in this area, because that way you can jump on, well, not even jump, technically, so that way you can land on Boom Boom's head, and kind of get him stuck in this corner, but even then, it's like, you have to get to that corner in the first place, and with these no blocks bouncing you up the moment the battle starts, and with there being a one-way door here, you can't go back and just kind of cower in the corner. So, yeah, definitely a much harder Boom Boom fight. I want to say it's the hardest, but I don't know, maybe other people have other ideas. I don't think anything changed, I want to say. I want to say I kept everything mostly the same. So, yeah, kind of a interesting level, with it essentially just being a nighttime above, like, you swimming up to the top, quite literally. Let's go to 4-4. My least favorite level in this world, and that's just because it's an underwater level. Not just any underwater level, a dark underwater level.
Here we go.
First of all, we have, like, this weird thing where it's like, huh, interesting, there's a block there, what about a block here? Oh wait, it's just a coin. Yeah, I don't know why I have this here. I think I meant for that to be like a 1-up or something, but it's like way too obscure. So, yeah, I just chose not to bother. Anyways, you go in here, and oh boy, it's dark. With only really you as a light, certain kinds of enemies, and the burners that constantly, and any kind of light source that's like these burners, fire bars, and a whole bunch of other stuff. This Star Coin is kind of dumb because it's like, well, first of all, it's dark. In fact, actually, I think all Star Coins except the second one are like really dumb because it's like it's so dark. You might thinking it's only to go forward. Like, who thinks that I actually go up here and get the Star Coin? I feel like not a lot of people are gonna actually try to go get that Star Coin. Why can't I land up here? I remember I did a pretty cool trick earlier with the fireballs, but I think that was in World 5. Whoa! In, like, the video. So, yeah, I do thankfully have this level somewhat short. Like, it's not that hard, but it's definitely, like, it's annoying since, like, you're essentially just going through the darkness. That checkpoint does give you a light source, kind of a nice breather, but it only does it the one time you even pick it up in the first place, so kind of moot point. Anyways, here is second Star Coin. It's not that hidden because, like, you have to go in the ship in the first place, I think, because if you... Oh, no, you can't go above it. Never mind. But, like, you're probably not going to think to go above it. That's with the amount of obstacles I do try to avoid. But I feel like the first 2 Star Coins aren't that bad. It's the final one that's, like, just incredibly dumb, in my opinion. So, like, you're just trying to get to the end. Like, there's a bunch of obstacles and stuff. There's the ending pipe. Yeah, that was not, that's totally not annoying at all, just to hide the last Star Coin. Not only that, but this last Star Coin is kind of a doozy to get. I mean, if you're Big Luigi, it's, like, kind of a moot point, but if you are small, it's not the easiest to get. Like, you kind of have to, like... In fact, I want to say it's almost impossible. I know it's not actually impossible. I'm pretty sure if you ground pound, you can... Oh, no, you can... Wait, did I just get it without the ground pound, or did I just, like... Or did the ground pound did actually help? Okay, no, you don't need a ground pound, but it's much harder to get. So, yeah, there is the point. And then, that blue pipe just leads you up here, which is, like, one of the weirdest things ever, because it's like, you can't even make that jump, you actually have to go like this. Which is strange. Oh well, anyways, that was this level. I don't like it, because the Star Coins are way too annoying. Like, at least, I guess the first and the third one are really annoying. The last one isn't. Or the second one, I mean, isn't that bad, but it's just annoying. Anyways, here's a dark ghost house. I feel like a ghost house, it makes more sense. And, this is like the only this and the castle, or not the tower, yeah, the castle are the only levels where I do feel like it's a bit copy paste, and by that I mean this is the only reason why, because the star at the beginning, a hidden star even, but everything else is like not pretty unique. Don't hit that because that's the fake star coin. Even though I actually noticed it doesn't actually have the laughing sound effect that it should have. It's supposed to have that sound effect, but it never did. So weird. Anyways, yeah, that has a laughing sound effect because guess what? There's a boo in there. So yeah. Here we just got a P-switch that you know you just gotta hit, and then that leads you to access the other door. And if you do end up getting it bad, I'm pretty sure the platform will respawn. I want to say it does. Yeah, it does respawn. So if you don't end up getting it, it's okay. You can try again. Anyways, that just door leads you to the other side. I don't think really much of anything changed in this level. Like, I feel like that's just with World 4. Like, I feel like nothing really changed that much. You know, we can climb up here, which is, I feel like, is one of those vines that's, like, it's not hinted at, but I wouldn't say it's on, like, you could still maybe think to jump here. Like, first of all, it's in the middle of a conveyor belt, and second of all, there's two burners, apart from just giving you light. Actually, now that I'm more to think about it, yeah, these are kind of obscure, because if you're not, like, jumping at here normally, you could just very easily miss this, because there's nothing really hinting you that there's hidden vines here anyways. Even though I don't even think this is a star coin, I actually think this is just a bonus room. So it's kind of a moot point at the fact that that doesn't really give you anything. Yeah, it doesn't give you anything. So the fact that it doesn't give you a star coin, actually I feel like kind of balances this whole thing out. Anyways, you don't even miss that much. Like you just miss like this not even hard jump at all. So there you go. Anyways, here you've got this. I don't know what my thinking was here at all. There's a star coin up here that you need, so it's like, okay, what if you need to get the spring? Well, the trick of, like, well, you know, trying to get the spring up there wouldn't really work. That is until you do that. That's, like, the most pointless hidden block ever. And the fact that it gives you the ability to jump up here, it's like, no, I seriously am not the biggest fan of this star coin at all. Like, I think the only reason why I couldn't have it like this, whoops, was because, like, well, you could, if you're small, you can easily hit it, but not if you're big. Or if you are big and you go like this, you know, you could accidentally hit it. But I feel like that's much better than, like, just having it one block tall so that you're never going to hit it no matter what. And, like, the only way you can hit it is if you're small and you go underneath the spring, which even then, why would you? I don't like this star coin at all. I dislike the fact that I put it here. But this next one is actually kind of clever. So you might notice that, you know, there's a thing, okay, so we want to go up here. And that obviously leads to the door, which is actually the inner level. But those of you paying attention might notice, oh look, there's like a secret passageway here. I don't know why I can't speak. You can't get up here normally, but that's actually to make it so it's somewhat harder to get to. Now, that's actually intentional, by the way. So if we can go in this pipe. First of all, we get introduced to the top section, which I actually... That's just because of how pipes work in Super Mario Maker. And you can actually get up here. So first of all, you get the ability to get to the top of the platform, and there's also this star coin, which I completely forgot to jump, so now I'm dead. Yeah, I don't think it's possible for me to get up there. But anyways, yeah, I do feel like the star coin is kind of dumb, because it's kind of hard to do a U-turn jump, and, like, in midair, and still, you know, survive. Like, yeah, you only barely make it, and I guess theoretically, if you knew that this wall was here, you could just go, like, do that. But, like, how do you know that the wall is there? I feel like star coins in this level aren't clever, apart from the third one, but even then, it's like, Actually, okay, I don't know. The first one I think is fine. The second one is dumb. This third one is clever, but the placement of it, where you have to jump out, essentially do a blind leap of faith, and, like, if you don't, you know, if you don't know there's ground here, oh, you're dead. I don't really like it. Either way, there is, you know, a door here that once you do go through, it does kind of lead you here. Just try not to get hit by this fire. Regardless, so you can clear the level. So yeah, I mean, it's a cool level, but I don't know how to feel about it. It doesn't really feel much. It's not that it doesn't, like, do anything. It's just dark theme levels are not my favorite. Anyways, here's the castle, which actually has rising and falling lava. So, yeah, that's kind of the whole idea with this. I don't know why I just completely blanked. That's kind of this whole gimmick of this castle. Like, you're essentially going between the swim form and the like walking form. That's essentially what you're doing in this castle. There's a star coin up here, which I feel like is kind of hidden. Like if you're not like actively searching for it, like yeah, you might see like, I guess okay. Theoretically speaking, okay, let's say that okay, you see this question block. Okay, let's go ahead and try to hit this. You gotta be careful. Oh, whoa, look, there's a spike thing, so we gotta be careful on, you know, the ceiling. So, okay, now you might be thinking, okay, you might want to go down here. Yeah, I guess this is somewhat obvious, but, like, even then, it's, like, it's kind of scared that I even hide a secret like this anyways. There we go. Anyways, you can go inside here, and now we have skewers and fences, and, yeah, it's starting to feel a little bit like World 4. World 4-Castle from Museum Rivers Wii. Especially like this star coin. This star coin's kind of a dead giveaway. To a certain degree. So, yeah. Not the most, like, original castle. But, like, I guess it works. Like, since the rest of these levels were pretty unique in some way. There is not a 1-up there. Normally I do like to hype 1-ups like that, but not here, apparently. This line here, by the way, this line is just to warn you that, okay, yeah, the lava does end up reaching there, so be careful. See? So, yeah, just be careful, don't stand there. Also, don't go up there. Okay, so we're gonna go grab this fire flower. Actually, I guess it doesn't really matter, because I could just get myself fire flower pretty easily. I feel like this episode of Behind the Scenes News and Rivals Plus is like, it's more just me playing the level again and like me explaining like what the mechanics are of the level. And that's just because this world didn't really change that much. Like, I don't remember changing it that much from the original level design. Like, yeah, there might have been like a few fixes, but like not like huge level differences that like actually like changed quite a bit. Regardless, so we're gonna enter this door, and here's honestly my least favorite thing ever. It's supposed to be this reenactment of that one room in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, but yeah, it doesn't really work out at all. I'm not the biggest fan of this. Anyways, we can go through this pipe, which does give us a power-up. There's our hidden power-up before the boss fight thing. And there's also a star coin right there. So, nice. Easy star coin that you can get right there. Anyways, we can go through this door, and we got a, I'm gonna be honest, probably easier boss fight than Boom Boom. And that's Wendy. And the main reason why is because, unlike Boom Boom that, like, basically charges at you, Wendy will, like, sometimes just stay still. And that kind of makes her kind of exploitable. On top of that, the ceiling is much higher, so, like, it's kind of hard to get hit by the ceiling. Third of all, only one spot can Wendy actually, like, bounce up, and that's, like, the middle, which I actually realized is not even perfectly lined up with the middle at all. I hope that doesn't kill your non-existent OCD. That is not like that. And even then, I don't think that's... Wait. Oh, now I'm actually really curious on counting. This is 3, 4... Oh, jeez. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, jeez, whoops. It's not... Well, that's actually kind of funny. So, if your non-existent OCD may not accept that. Oh well. Sorry. Anyways, yeah, this was this level. I feel like this level's a little bit short, but I mean, it does work, I feel like, in my opinion. I actually meant to show off the other section. Oh well. It's alright. 4-dash airship. Okay, this level. First of all, like all airships, we're going to start with this pipe. And we're gonna launch you up. Except you also got a star coin, so make sure you pick that up. There's nothing wrong about this airship, though. If you can guess it, I don't use the nighttime airship theme. Even this is supposed to be in the nighttime world. Seriously. Like, I guess, like, if I were to just do this, it would have kind of been boring, yes. But, like, I feel like it would have been better than just, like, not even having it at all.
Here we go.
Like, I mean, like, obviously how the level is right now, it wouldn't work. But, like, I feel like I just should have used this. Like, this would have been super cool to, like, try to use. It was also just funny just to see most of the enemies, like, move much slower than they really should. But even then, that just is just kind of an interesting mechanic. Also, I almost thought I was playing the Space World. It's just funny. I just, like, because everything's moving so slowly, that's what it almost feels like. But yeah, I do sort of wish that, I did use this. Like, it would have been so much better. Because this is, like, the nighttime world. It's already. I've complained so much about, you know, this. Regardless, though, I feel like this level is... I guess it also somewhat is, like, a reenactive of, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. 6-dash airship, I think is what that one is. But, like, at least it's, like, this Star Coin can a little bit feel like that. But there's, like, I don't know, like, I feel like it feels unique enough to me. And actually, for the sake of, this, we're actually gonna make it go, let's go a little bit faster. Oh, that Mecha Koopa. This actually moves really fast for an airship, it's funny. Anyways, there is also this quad cannon and another blue Mecha Koopa. And if we go inside here, we just have some fun little platforming, which I actually think is quite appropriate. Oh my goodness, that almost did not work very well. But yeah, there's just some fun little platforming that you do. I feel like this is like one of my favorite Star Coin rooms, because it's just simple platforming. And honestly, I just simply like it. Like, it's simple, but it works, in my opinion. Anyways, yeah, do be careful of this one, blue Mecha Koopa, because that could be really annoying. And we do also have the boss. I'm pretty sure there's never a hidden power-up for the Bowser Jr. fights. And I want to say this one is actually easier than the, I want to say this one is actually easier than the one in World 2. Because, like, this moving platform can very much easily help you and not help Bowser Jr. at all. It also makes avoiding the shells much easier. Although the sides are filled with spikes, so that is definitely something to be aware of. Is that if you do end up hitting the sides, you either will die or you'll just take a bunch of damage. So that is definitely something to consider. I need to stop hitting plus. But yeah, it is just such a shame that I never used this theme, because this is the only nighttime theme that I never used. And it's kind of interesting, because okay, so let's be honest. If we go through all the nighttime themes, we use the night ground 3 times, we use the underground in literally 1 room, that underwater level, the night desert which we saw in World 2, the night snow which we saw in World 3, the night sky, which we see in World 7, the night forest, which we see in World 5, the night ghost house, which we saw, like, which was featured in 1 level, and the night castle, which was used as the castle and the tower of this world. but I never used night airship. So, yeah, that's just kind of one of the most unfortunate things about this. And basically, that's basically World 4. But there's a couple of things that we need to do, that's basically now tradition. We have the World 4 credit little thing that I have, which is essentially just a little walkway of a whole bunch of the stuff. That's what I meant earlier by this chain jump's a really big chain. There's actually it can actually hurt you, depending on the RNG. So, that was one of the most funniest things that didn't even happen to me at any of my practice attempts, but it is possible. And oh my goodness, it's actually happening, because I think how RNG works in this game. Okay, now it should work perfectly. Yeah. Yeah, you can kind of see the idea here, where it's kind of just a whole bunch of nighttime theme mechanics. And also, I was never supposed to hit the blue switch because of how everything works. Okay, so the idea is that, okay, yeah, we have the rotten mushroom, we have the big chain, we have the giant Koopa and the little Goomba, supposed to represent, like, the big and small world that we saw. We have, like, the pipe that switches these two blocks around, that's why they're there. We have the upside down spiny to represent the underground. We have these supposed to represent the darkness of the ghost house, hence why there's booze here. Why there's also blue dotted line blocks, but I had them on accidentally. You also have the question mark block, which I don't know why it's blue. It should actually be red with wings, but it's oh well. You also have the spike room, which is basically just the precision swimming. You also get to see what the power-ups act like at night, which is the propeller mushroom, which essentially just like zips like that, and it's just cool. And then the mushroom just bounces, the fire flower slides and then jumps. The acorn actually does like 3 little bounces. Or no, it does like two little hops, a high hop, and like a roll, and like a fast hop, so that's actually kind of interesting. Anyways, now we're gonna go to the world bot, and we're gonna go and see how World 4 looks like, except I'm gonna be honest, it's not that interesting. Isn't this... Yeah, this is like that's the castle. So this is the first level, which is a castle technically, but, you know, it's not actually. And World 6 is actually an underground because there aren't that many themes. So I just thought this was the only one that actually kind of made sense. The idea is that you clear this level, and then you have access to like a one-up house, and when you go inside this pipe, it kind of leads you over here. You clear this level. I think that's the tower, right? Yeah, that's a tower. What is this level? Okay, oh, it's the movie block level. I felt like this should have been land, but oh well, it's too late. And then there's also 2 matching blocks. This torch and this underwater level, so... Kind of interesting level, I'll be honest.
Here we go.
But... Or, I mean, interesting world. And then this is supposed to be the castle, but unfortunately, it doesn't quite end there, because if we go to World 7... It's actually the castle here, and then the airship. So, kind of unfortunate, but oh well. It just kind of has to be like that. And I think that's everything. I think that's everything that I needed to show off, because that's usually what we show off. All the levels, kind of like how each concept works, at least commentated, because, you know, not commentary doesn't really let me do that. The name of the world, and like the credit scene, and how it looks like in WorldBot. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. You'll an 8-ball fall. Goodbye!